Greetings. I'm Doc V. Greetings. I want to talk with you today about realistic goals. Some of us have aspirations to be, well, when you're young, you have aspirations to be an NBA basketball star or a football player or entertainer, or you plan on hitting the lottery, or you plan on going to college and getting a big degree and they're paying you $500,000 and you're just going to make it. And some of you have what I'll call unrealistic goals. Goals that it's nice to have them, but we must stay in the pocket of reality. I remember when I was young, I would watch movies and I see the man walking with his suit on, and he's got his briefcase, and he goes up into the 32nd floor of the building, and he's looking out over the city, and he's got people under him, and he's got a big job. And I said to myself, wow, that's going to be me. I'm going to go to school, get a degree, and go up in the penthouse, have my briefcase, and have my BMW, and I'm going to do the doggone thing. But what I did not realize was that this dream or this view that I had of reality was not realistic. You're not going to be 18, 19 years old, go get a college degree after 4 years, and all of a sudden they put you in a big company, in a big corporation, over 30, 40, 50 people, and pay you $250,000 a year and put you in the company car. That just doesn't happen. But our youth have unrealistic goals most times, and they become impatient. They don't want to go and take the necessary steps of getting training, going to school, getting a degree, applying for a lower level position and working their way up, and maybe getting a more advanced degree. Some people have goals and aspirations about starting their own business. And statistics show that out of every 25, 30 businesses that start, only 5 of them succeed. It's difficult. This is very difficult. We must have realistic goals. We must know where our gifts and where our talents are. Studies have shown that people that have a gift, that gift comes out early. It comes out early. If you can sing, that starts showing itself when you're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. If you're good in math, it starts coming together when you're in school, elementary school. If you have a personality and an ability to communicate and to reason with people and to solve problems, this comes out early. They've got tests that show people where their potential is. And some of you might be interested in taking some of these tests because it will help you align your life with realistic goals. I can remember when I was in high school, I could run fast, and I was successful as a college athlete in track and field, but in high school, I tried to play football. Did all right in middle school because they weren't hitting as hard. But I remember I went out for high school football and I was doing good in the drills and everything, and the catching drills, and I could hit a little bit, but I was skinny, but I was fast. Anyway, one day, the coach lined up 2 defensive people and took the potential running backs and said, run through them. And I was in line, and they had, 2 big guys, and you had to run through them. Then they get 2 different guys, and you had to run through them. So it was my turn, and I said, oh my gosh. And I remember Chester McCullough and Hubert Oliver, the biggest, strongest guys on the football team. I'm like, why am I lining up with them? So they pitched me the ball and they said, go, Vaughn, go. And I ran and I tried to get through them. And boom, they hit me, slammed me on the ground. And I said, I'm glad that's over. So I went to the end of the line and the coach said, Vaughn, come back here. I didn't like that. I said, oh no. Called me back. He said, do it again. He pitched me the ball and he said, now go. And I ran towards Hubert and Chester, tried to get around, and boom, they hit me again, slam. And I said, I'm going to be a receiver. This is not going to be happening to me. And the coach said, I didn't like that, Shores. I didn't like that. I said, you got to be kidding. He said, do it again. I got the ball, put my head down, ran as hard as I could, and Hubert hit me low, and Chester McCullough hit me high, about to spin my body over, and slam! As God is my witness, I got up, took my helmet off, started walking back to the locker. Took my jersey off, kept on walking back to the locker room. I'm telling the truth. Took my shoulder pads off, threw them down, started walking back to the locker. By the time I got to the locker room door, I was down to the pads on the pants. Kicked my cleats off, went and got a shower, put my clothes on, and went back home again. And the next time I was on the football field, it was to watch the game. I said, I let that go. I was successful in track. I went to state championship, got third, got a scholarship, went on to college. And years later, my cousin Walter, he called me up and he said, Vaughn, do you remember when we was playing football and Chester McCullough and Hubert Oliver was busting the daylights out of you, knocking you silly? I said, yeah, I'll never forget it. He said, well, turn the TV on. I turned the TV on. This was, I think, 4 or 5 years later after this experience. Hubert had gone off to college and played for 4 years at a university and got recruited to the pros. The one that was knocking the living daylights out of me, Hubert Oliver, got recruited to the pros. And I was like, I'll be doggone. Now, if I'd have known that, I might have stuck around a little bit. Maybe got to where they were just passing to the receivers, maybe run a few pass patterns and stayed away from him. I might have played a little bit longer, but I guess it was God's will for me to go through that, to keep from injuring myself or to have time to do what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, I was getting blown off the sidewalk, blown off the field by a professional athlete, but I didn't know it. Hubert was just 17 years old and he was all muscled up and big, and I was like, well, how come I don't look like that? Anyway, your talents and your gifts come out early. I could run fast, and I was able to do well at the city championship meets in elementary school, middle school, and high school. I earned this track scholarship. My gifts and my talents came out early there. I played the guitar, I love music. My gifts came out as a young man there. Football, I wasn't big enough. I couldn't take the hits. I got this big peanut head, and it seemed like they put a helmet on me, and it wasn't fitting right. And Hubert and Chester about knocked it off of me. Anyway, true story, look it up. Hubert Oliver played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Anyway, some of us want to be entertainers. We can sing, and we can play the piano, play the guitar, but this is the thing. You might have talent, and your talent might be just as good as those that are out there performing. But is your number going to get pulled? Sometimes your talent is similar to having a lottery ticket. Anyone can get one. A lot of people have this talent or lottery ticket, but is it going to get pulled? Well, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to work and try to get out there, and somebody's going to hear me. You got 5,000 people out there, and they need 3 positions filled for stardom. Have you ever watched the show The Voice or America's Got Talent? They got people on that show that have been singing for years, beautiful voices. No one's ever heard of them. And they sing, most of them sing as good as or better than the talent that's out there making millions. So you have to have, or it is good for you to have a realistic goal. I'll call it Plan B or Plan A. Plan B is your dreams and aspirations. I didn't bring out my mountain or my self-actualization, my Maslow's mountain. I didn't bring it out today. But you have to meet the physiological needs first and the safety needs. And sometimes you're going to have to just take a job. You're going to have to take a situation where you can maintain your life. And then as you grow in that and develop in your basic needs and you have relationships that help you create and build up your esteem, then you can self-actualize. What's self-actualization? That's when you have arrived. You made it to the college football team. You made it to the pros. You made it as a president of the company. You're making $1 million. You've established your credit. You've got a family. Everyone's point of self-actualization is different. But to get there, your goals have to be realistic. Who are you? What can you do right now? What were you good at as a young man? What was natural to you? What were you successful at? And people raved about your abilities and accomplishments, and it was of little effort. You need to go back and you need to look at that. A lot of our young men have displaced goals and emphasis on the things that are important for their lives. Let's make good decisions. I'm Doc V, and I'll see you next time.